What's up, Gacha gang? Kawaii50 here with another FGO video, and by Patreon request, the very first summer servant we are covering for Summer 3 is Jeanne Artscher, or Jeanne Artscher, Jarcher, whatever you want to call her, it doesn't really matter. We're going to be going over her stats, her skills, what craft essences to give her, what teammates to pair her with, and since they're finally out on NA and we can cover them, what command codes you should give Jeanne Artscher. Buckle up, it's gonna be a long, bumpy ride. So of course we'll kick off this video with Jeanne's stats. Jeanne's 15,743 HP is very, very good, ranking at 7th highest in the game on JP right now. Her 10,525 attack is also on the higher end of servants overall. On top of a quick Arts Buster deck and an Arts Noble Phantasm, you know Jeanne isn't going to have any trouble charging her NP. And that is really, really evident in not only some skills we're going to be going over, but she does have a 0.68% NP gain per hit and gains 3% NP when attacked. Her star absorption, of course, is incredible due to her Archer class. So she is going to be one of your main arts crit damage dealers when you're running her. Jeanne has two passive skills, and one of them really cements this role as the arts crit damage dealer, and that's Independent Action Celeb Rank EX. This increases her own critical damage by 10%, but it also charges her own NP gauge by 3% every turn on a water side battlefield. So, much like Summer Martha, she does get benefits when she is at the water side, a benefit of her Summer Servant status. These water side effects are more than just gravy, not really something you can plan for a lot of the time, but if you are able to, look at stages beforehand, if that's your thing, if you see that there's a water side effect on the battlefield, just know that Jeanne Artscher is going to be getting bonuses from that. Jeanne's first skill, Endless Enjoy Summer Rank A, is her main source of bread and butter damage, as well as her main source of survivability. You're going to get a 20 to 30% increase in her heart's effectiveness for 3 turns. Also, on top of that, she is going to get invincibility for 2 attacks that will last over the course of 3 turns. When you max this skill out, this is going to be on a 5-turn cooldown. So a relatively short cooldown to grant you not only a damage and ultimately NP gain bonus, but on top of that, you're going to be getting invincibility too. That's pretty awesome. So I highly recommend you level up this skill first. Not only are you, as I said, increasing all those effects for Jeanne, but you're increasing her survivability as well. Jeanne's second skill is Waterfront Saintess Dolphin, rank A+, and this is going to be Jeanne's main source of NP damage and NP charge. She's going to get a 20 to 40% NP charge on this. Her NP damage is going to go up by 10 to 20%. And if you're on that water side battlefield, like we mentioned in her passive skill, you're going to get a 30 to 50% critical chance bonus. Sorry, not critical chance, critical damage, excuse me, while I misspeak, because this is a very exciting skill that I wish was even more exciting. I would recommend leveling this up first if that crit damage was just an all-the-time thing, but that would really make Jeanne super, super busted. With it only being on waterside battlefields, I gotta recommend you level this up second, because you need to pump up that NP steroid, and you also want to boost that NP damage, however slightly you may do that. And Jeanne's third skill is Servant Cheer Rank B. This is going to increase your entire party's attack by 10 to 20% for 3 turns. And also, if your allies are of the good alignment, you're going to increase that by another 10 to 20% on top of that. Unfortunately, this does not affect Jeanne Artscher, because her alignment is Lawful Summer. Boo. That is upsetting. Also, on top of that, you're not really going to be using Jeanne Artscher as a supporter. She is going to be your main damage dealer whenever you call on her. So definitely save this skill for last. The good alignment boost is only going to be a nice little bonus. You're not really going to get a lot of personal benefit out of that. Kinda lame. Now, Jeanne's Noble Phantasm is, and excuse me while I butcher this because I do not speak French, Des Océans de Allégresse. As the ocean gets abundant, we get to delight in it. I'm not even going to try to say that again. I am bad at that. But what is important is that this deals damage to all enemies 450 to 750%, and on top of that, you're getting a sort of Garden of Avalon effect on top of that. You're going to be generating 10 to 30 stars every turn for 3 turns based on overcharge. So if you are using this skill in conjunction with other noble phantasms, I highly recommend you put it as late in the turn order as you possibly can to maximize Jeanne d'Arc's star regen. This star regen is going to help you a lot in the subsequent turns. And if you're using this in a full arts chain with Jeanne, of course she is going to have a substantial chance to recover a ton of noble phantasm charge from it. So by the time your star regen runs out, you should be ready to get it going again pretty much immediately. Now with Jeanne as your main damage dealer, you are going to want some art support to further maximize her damage and NP gain. So if we're talking about freebie options here, Mozart and Hohenheim are going to be your main boys. Hohenheim in particular recently got a fantastic strengthening and really needs to be used more by the community at large. He is severely underrated. If you're looking beyond that into 4-star territory, you can use Caster Gil, Queen of Sheba, or you can even use Chiron if you decide to, use the golden catches the carp trick with him, as I talked about in my video about him, to gain her a bunch of stars upon entry, boost all of her stats, and then immediately swap him out for someone that isn't going to eat all of her stars. And a servant I always want to mention who isn't going to steal stars from her, who is also going to be a big supporting help, Lanling Wang is going to be an excellent choice to pair with her as well. And this is, of course, all not talking about your Tamamos. Of course, Tamamo is someone you're going to want to pair with her. That's a no-brainer. So what craft essences do we give Jeanne d'Arc Archer? Well, I would highly recommend focusing on Arts card effectiveness as well as NP strength for her. Yes, she has a ton of potential as a crit archer when it comes to that crit damage from her second skill, but with you not always being on a water side area, it's just not as super reliable, though I will mention an Arts crit CE for those of you who really want to build her that way. Dive to Blue, I've got to say, is your best freebie option, and you should have gotten at least one copy finished after the recent Dead Heat Summer Race rerun. Arts card effectiveness, NP strength, as well as a nice starting NP gauge is magnificent for Jeanne d'Arc Archer. We've got another craft essence coming eventually, of course, Royal Icing. Royal Icing granting Arts card effectiveness plus 10% and NP damage plus 20%. This is coming from Oniland, and gang, I know a lot of you are excited about this craft essence. We just need more Lartoria altar love in general. Make it happen, DW execs. I know you're watching. Another craft essence I can recommend for a nice 4-star option. Maybe, your level isn't high enough and you're kind of cutting it close when it comes to cost, so you need to rely on those 4-star CEs. Callade Sapphire is a nice, more focused budget CE that grants that arts of performance boost as well as that NP damage. And finally, for you arts crit players out there, we can of course give her New Beginnings, featuring her, of course, Arts card effectiveness, critical strength, as well as a starting NP gauge steroid on top of that. All these things can really help an arts crit Jarcher. So for command codes, for the sake of time, I'm going to give you 3 solid recommendations. One for her Buster card, one for her Quick card, and one for her Arts cards, and you can fill in the blanks after that. Just in the sake of time, I can't put too much info in this video. For Buster, I've definitely got to recommend Linchpin of Heaven. This increases the damage against weak to Enuma Elish enemies by 20% of the engraved card. There's a ton of weak to Enuma Elish enemies out there, and being able to up the damage of those Buster cards is gonna help at times where, you just need to use those Buster cards with Jeanne d'Arc Archer. I know it's not ideal, but you're going to see why I don't recommend putting this on the arts cards in just a second. As for her lone quick card, we really want to focus on helping charge her NP, get that steroid going, get those arts loops going. Some people say you can loop with her. It's really difficult, but if you're looking to boost that NP gain even further, I've got to recommend Magus of Flowers on her quick card. So you're going to get 10% NP charge every 3 turns when you attack using that engraved card. You're already using that quick card not necessarily to generate stars, but to generate NP gauge, so why don't you just add another flat 10% on that? I think it's a pretty good idea. And for her arts cards, I actually really gotta recommend this 3-star command code. I know it's weird to recommend a 3-star, but Immature Illusionary Command Seal is actually going to be incredible for the purposes we're going to use it for. When engraved on an arts card, this increases the critical star absorption by 100% of the engraved card. So, with Jeanne d'Arc as an archer, she already has massive critical star absorption. With a boost to the critical star absorption of her arts cards specifically, you are going to get a far more increased chance of critting with those arts cards. Critting with those arts cards means additional NP gain, and additional NP gain means additional chances to use Jeanne's AoE Noble Phantasm. It just works. Overall, my friends, I've really got to say that Jeanne d'Arc Archer is an incredible AoE arts archer. Yes, we are entering an era right now where arts is going to sort of start to fall out of favor in favor of quick, and Buster still remaining relevant even as quick continues to gain prominence and continues to gain powerful servants. But the fact that quick is really good, Buster is still good, and art starts to become suboptimal as Tamamo does not get those buffs that she so desperately needs, does not belie the effectiveness of Jeanne d'Arc Archer. You can still run her super effectively. She's going to do what she is designed to do, and she's going to do it well. She's also going to end up providing your team with a little bit of extra support when it comes to those crit stars off her Noble Phantasm that you didn't know you needed. If you're looking to really attempt to loop her Noble Phantasm, it is possible off of Overkill, but you really need to get at least NP2 if you want that to happen. But Jeanne d'Arc Archer, very good. If you're summoning for her and you get her, you should feel very happy. Let me know, my friends, what you think of Jeanne d'Arc Archer down in the comments below. Let me know if you're rolling for her. If you're not rolling for her, who are you attempting to get most off of the upcoming Summer 3 banners? I definitely want to know that. Who do you prefer to use, Jeanne d'Arc in her Ruler incarnation or in her Archer incarnation? Also, if you're looking to support the channel more, we've got a Discord where you can come to talk about FGO content, as well as a Patreon as well that I'm going to link in the description down below. As I said at the start of the video, the Patreons are picking which order these summer videos are coming out in. So if you want a say in what videos come out when here on the channel, that is the place to go and do it. This is Kawaii50, hoping you have a phenomenal day. I'll see y'all in the next one.